Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the Versace Stoner, with another episode of VSW. Yeah, give it up, give it up. What is up, everybody? It's your host, Versace Stoner here. Today, we're going to talk about one of the greatest shows to have taken place yet. That's right, Suffer No Fools by Limitless Wrestling. Happened just last night. And what an event. I am so proud to be part of this event. I did sponsor a match. We decided to sponsor the Sea Stars versus Scrunchy Squad match. And like I said, I'm very proud to be part of this one. Limitless puts on tremendous shows with, excellent matches, great rivalries. Just an all-around good Friday night. And we'll jump right into it. They had the pre-show kickoff match with the competition in Waves and Curls. Both of these guys, teams are tremendous on the indie circuit. Right now, competition is dominating. I have to say, they had a tough loss against MSP, but they haven't lost a step in my book. Waves and Curls, one of the hottest teams in the division. These two can do almost anything when they put their mind to it. Really, really, really impressive. They are a fire team. Since I first saw them last year, or earlier last year, I started seeing them on the scene. I really fell in love with that team. Very charismatic, great individuals outside the ring again. All four of these individuals, great people. But this was a great tag team matchup if you like classic tag team wrestling. And that's what I like. With they're actually real teams going against each other. So, with that being said, though, it was the competition that got the victory. And, that just solidifies, the competition's, worth in Limitless Wrestling and how good they are. And, like I said, that MSP loss, they just need to learn from it, move forward, and keep dominating. And I think they will be okay in this division. And, as far as, Waves and Curls, it was a close one. They will get back. They'll be back to their glory. I have no doubt about that. Both of these teams, like I said, very exciting. Love the divisions with the actual tag teams. We had another great matchup. If you're into the technical, matchups, which I am also a fan of that. We had Travis Huckabee defeat, going up against Matt Mikowski. Another, two great individuals in the game. Matt really, shining right now all over the place. Huckabee, great, wrestle. These two are really, really solid, technically sound individuals, and they put on a killer match for us. And, Huckabee getting the victory in the end, but what can I say? I'm a big Matt Mikowski fan. I think, he has a lot to offer in this industry. He is, like I said, been crushing it all around. This loss, I think, he'll learn from it as well and move forward. Huckabee, great individual. This is one of the first times I've really seen him wrestle. I won't lie. I was impressed. Put on a great match. This is the kind of stuff that Limitless puts on, and it's getting better and better and better every show they do. Then you had, this was the match that we sponsored here at the VSW. You had the Team Sea Stars, Ashley Vox and Deli XO, versus the scrungy squad of Becca. And it was going to be a mystery partner, but she finally had found somebody, and that person was Davey Ann. And, what a team they were. They were a great team. A huge Becca fan, huge Davey fan. Actually, everybody in those matches is the future of the industry, really. They are. C-Star's killing it everywhere, even all the way to AEW. So, come on. This is like, another great caliber-style tag team matchup with 4 great, talented individuals. I was very impressed, with all of them. Team C-Stars getting the victory in the end over, Becca and Davion. You could see there was a little bit of a communication, I think, with Davion and Becca. And, Davey took a kick to the face and just, a couple of incidents that happened. It was their first time, I think, tagging here at Limitless Wrestling. Or at least in this kind of fashion. So, there's bugs to be worked out. The C-Stars are a perfect machine together. They know each other's inside out. They are great. Okay? They are what tag teams are about. Like, competition and Waves and Curls. MSP. All these tag teams know each other, And that's what makes the tag team so great when they do know each other. And they do work off each other's energy. And they do bounce. And I think, Becca and Davey did have that. I think they just, they need to work out a few kinks. They were still friends at the end of that match, which is always important. Everybody go home friendly, No hard feelings. But, C-Stars getting the victory, looking very dominant last night. Gotta love it. Got to love it. Then you had another real good brawl, okay? Well, I call it a brawl, but it was a good match. Tyree Taylor versus the Windy City Kid, TJ Crawford. Come on. These two top-notch stars going at it. It was an insane matchup. I'm, again, a huge TJ Crawford fan. I think he's just lighting up the industry right now. Really just, shining every promotion he goes to. Especially here in Limitless, he's really killing it. He gets the crowd fired up. The people that are sitting around. I can only imagine in front of a live crowd. Watch his facial expression. Watch his mannerisms. He is good. Okay? But what is that going to do against Tyree Taylor? He's the big boy. He is something out of this world. Okay? He's here to destroy. He's here to just demolish. He's here to crush. And that's exactly what he did. He came, he dominated, he beat TJ Crawford. Eventually I think that it's going to be Tyree Taylor challenging, Garcia for that title. He looks to be heading in that direction with all these wins, all these victories, and just keep going forward. I would say within the year we might see that. Maybe even sooner. But nothing off of TJ Crawford. He put on a great matchup last night. Like I said, never disappointed when watching him. Watching either of these two stars, really. Great matchup, though. Definitely, if you haven't seen this, definitely go back to IWTV. Watch it. It's on there now. It's great. It was, one of my favorite events they put on so far this year. Not that they put on many, but if we include some of last year's, whatever you want to call, Vacation Link Cup and all this, I did really like this. Okay, I really like this. These matches in this card were very solid, and I think a lot of them just crushed it out there. Really crushed it out there. Speaking of crushing it, Kevin Blackwood crushed it once again, defeating Robert Martyr. This was the first time me seeing Robert. I have to admit, another newbie to watching somebody, but, he was good. And he gave it a good fight, but come on, let's face it, Kevin Blackwood is one of the hottest things right now in Limitless. He's kind of being mentored by the champion himself, Daniel Garcia. These guys are not playing. He doesn't play, He just, like I said, he has the presence of a UFC fighter when I see him. He doesn't remind me of a pro wrestler. This is somebody I wouldn't want to mess with, somebody I wouldn't want to fight, in a dark alley at night. And that would be Kevin Blackwood. Would not want to face him. He's a very dangerous adversary in the ring. And he can make you tap, he can make you quit, he can, make you submit, he can do whatever he wants to you when he's in the zone. And he's only, again, getting better with the guidance of the champion. So, definitely someone to be looking out for in the future. And again, like I said, this was the first time I had seen Robert Mader fight, but I was impressed. I was happy to see him. I hope to see him again at Limitless. I'm sure, And I'm going to go look at some of his other matches that he's probably had around, because it was a good matchup, and I did like those two together. The chemistry was good. After that, though, we saw Ava Everett and Ricky Archer going at it. As you know, Ava Everett has been doing that, open challenge. Everybody but Davion was invited to that. Last night we saw her and Ricky Archer going at it, and Ava Everett getting the victory over Ricky. And, I'm not really surprised. Ava Everett is one of the best in the business. Whether she's fighting another female, whether she's fighting another male, whatever she's fighting, she doesn't matter. She's just there to fight, and she's the best at it. Ricky Archer is great, but that's not Ava Everett class. That's not, the same class as Ava Everett. I'm sorry. She is just way too talented. But, some things unfolded later on that night. She ran into Becca and Davey, and, there was kind of a little bit of a, skirmish and a little bit of, some talk. And then later on, Becca blindsided her and forced Ava Everett to wear that scrunchie. And, there's a photo floating around on Twitter. It is pretty wonderful. Best friends they're looking at wearing their scrunchies together. You should probably check it out before Ava Everett makes it disappear with her black magic. But anyways, great matchup by Ava, great matchup by Ricky. I really enjoyed it. Again, she's top notch. I'll be interested to see if she continues with the open challenge. Then we had probably my most favoriteest match of the night. I give this 5 stars. JD Drake versus Rip Bison. These two just killed the business in this match, giving it everything. I mean, they were just beating the hell out of each other. It's what professional wrestling is all about, especially if you're an old-time fan like me from, that liked 80s wrestling, 70s wrestling, early 90s, where these people would just go out, beat each other, didn't care what they looked like. They weren't about the pretty boy life. They would just go out there and do their job. This is what this match reminded me of. This was a great matchup. I don't know who booked it, but kudos to them, because the chemistry on this match was just over the top. And if it wasn't for the champion being in the show and a championship match being there, I think this would have been the main event and easily could have pulled it off. Both these guys have a very unique style of wrestling, and, they're powerhouses. And, when you have two powerhouses collide, things can go either two ways. They can go very, stagnant stale, where it's just finisher times finisher over finisher, until somebody wins, squash match kind of a way. Or you get a really good, close-knit, tight battle, blow for blow. And that's what we got last night. And I was so happy about that. I've been looking forward to this match ever since it was announced. And, J.D. Drake getting the victory over Rip Bison. But come on, you got to give it up for old Ripper. He crushed it out there. I mean, really crushed it. Both these guys deserve, a big round of applause. And, we were just told tonight, J.D. Drake he has challenged Garcia for the Limitless title at the next show. More information on that coming soon. Check out Limitless Twitter. They've been posting info about it today. We'll do something on our podcast, obviously, as it gets more and more information rolls in. But looking forward to that one. Then, last night you had the main event. It was a submission match for the Limitless Wrestling Championship with Daniel Garcia, the current reigning and defending Limitless Champion, taking on Lee Moriarty, the newly kind of crowned IWTV Champion. While the IWTV title was not on the line, the Limitless title surely was, and these two gave it this was a WrestleMania caliber style match. Let's just say that. Okay, both of these guys are at their top right now. Really starting to peak. Okay, both of them, technically some of the best in the business. Not just right now, but overall in all time periods. There's, a lot of technical wrestlers. These guys, some of the best. And, they just went out there and they fought. This is the second time they fought, but this was just a fire match. The build up to it was great. I really, really wanted to see this one. I wouldn't have, either way, I don't know how I would have felt if, I'll tell you this, okay? So then I can get into what I have to say. Daniel Garcia did retain. He did defeat Lee Moriarty. But what I was going to say is, if Lee had won this and, became Limitless Champion, I wouldn't have been upset about that either. He's a tremendous superstar. Great wrestler. But just not as good as Daniel Garcia. And, and that can make all the difference in the title fight. Is who is the better man? And that was Daniel Garcia last night. And he was also accompanied to the ring by Kevin Blackwood. They're really becoming a thing. I don't know if they, he really seems to kind of be taking him under his wing, kind of showing him the ropes, which is very exciting, for Kevin Blackwood, I'm sure. And they're good friends, and all, but, Daniel Garcia not forgetting, his friends at this time. But, he really didn't have that much to play into the match. But, Lee Moriarty really, he could have came out on top. There was moments when he could have won. But, Garcia was just that much better again. So, this was a great show by Limitless Wrestling. Again, very happy to be part of the sponsoring of it. Glad fans got to watch it, It's been hard enough, without wrestling, without live fans. But when you get great shows, it takes some of the sting off. It really does. We thank you, Limitless, for keeping it up during these times. You guys crush it. Every week on the road, every, Wednesday, you can catch them. 7 o'clock, IWTV. They have news about their next show coming up. And, that can only wait. I can't even wait to see what's going to be on that card. How can I even top what was on this card? I didn't think this card was going to be able to top Double Vision. And, they, like I said, it just keeps getting better and better and better. So definitely check it out if you, and again, if you haven't watched it, go to IWTV. Subscribe if you're a new subscriber. Sign in with code Limitless. Support the independent scene. Sign up. You get, it's $9.99. You get a shit ton of independent wrestling, including all of Limitless's The Roads, their past events, and Suffer No Fools. Watch it, see for yourself how good it is. But I'm telling you right now, it was great. Have yourself a great day, folks. Versace Stoner out.